In the last video, we finished the user profile page and updated the different checkout views to handle user profiles. We should add this functionality to the webhook handler we wrote as well, so that if the checkout view fails, we can depend on the webhook handler to do all the same things. Here in the handle payment intent succeeded method inside our webhook handler, remember that we added that handy key in the payment intent called metadata, which contains the username of the user that placed the order. It also contains whether or not they wanted to save their info, so let's handle that here. We'll begin with profile set to none, just so we know we can still allow anonymous users to check out, and you'll see why this matters in a moment. In the meantime, we can get the username from intent.metadata.username, and then if the username isn't anonymous user, we know they were authenticated. We could also use request.user here since we added the request object in the init method above, but this shows you an alternative way to check if a user is authenticated. Anyway, if they're not anonymous, let's try to get their profile using their username. If they've got the save info box checked, which again comes from the metadata we added, then we'll want to update their profile by adding the shipping details as their default delivery information. Then we can just save the profile and we're all set. Now since we've already got their profile, and if they weren't logged in it will just be none, we can simply add it to their order when the webhook creates it. In this way, the webhook handler can create orders for both authenticated users by attaching their profile, and for anonymous users by setting that field to none. Finally, we just need to import the user profile model here at the top. Everything else in this webhook handler stays exactly the same. Let's go test it to make sure it's working. I'll go to the Stripe elements.js file, and comment out the submission of the form so that we know our checkout view will fail and will never get to the checkout success page. If our code is working though, that should be no problem since the webhook handler will catch the payment intent succeeded webhook from Stripe and handle everything for us. Even with our form completely broken, payments still work and we can see Stripe posting to the webhook URL in the terminal. Looking in the admin will show the order was created successfully and the profile was attached as expected. In fact, even though the checkout page failed, if the user were to come back to their profile later on, they'd see it in their order history. Let's re-enable form submission in the Stripe Elements JavaScript file Commit these changes, and in the next video, we'll finish up the checkout process by sending users a confirmation email.